Hello there, and welcome back to my hair transplant progress video updates. So I've not been on for a couple of months since my last video that I did, and there's a pretty good reason for that. Basically, not much I didn't feel was changing. My whole plan was I wanted to do maybe weekly updates and show you, but the actual growth between kind of 2 months ago and today isn't really that much to document over the course of a week period. However, if you can look, this is my current situation. So my transplant was in August the 21st and it's now November 24th, so pretty much just over 3 months. Now this is the fully healed stage, as in terms of I could go back to normal activities of whatever I wanted: swimming, sweating, running, football. Don't need, I can wash it as many times as I want. It's not gonna lose kind of the procedure as far as we've gone to this state. However, it's not finished in terms of its growth. We all know it takes anything from 6 months to 12 months to fully grow in, but after 3 months is its fully healed period. So as you can see, it's brilliant actually compared to the last one I've did. What you're going to see coming up is I'm going to be putting some. I did take some pictures over the last few weeks, so you can see kind of. I've had a haircut as well about a month ago, so you can see kind of what my last video was like at the end of was it 30 days up to now. So over the next kind of 8 weeks, I've maybe got about 20 or 30 pictures showing the kind of week on week progress of it. So it wasn't enough for me to do a video and talk, but it's certainly enough for me to kind of do this kind of video online and put the kind of screenshots of to show it. So as we go through the videos, then you can have a look at the kind of hair loss to see what I'm up to from day 30 after transplant to month 3. And also thanks to all the comments on my last previous videos. And also kind of I've had emails come in and just questions from general friends and family. So I thought what I would do is I would answer kind of some of the most common queries that you may have in case you're thinking about getting your hair done recently or after New Year, or if you've had it done in the last few weeks and you're maybe worrying about what comes next. And then I'll maybe try and do as many kind of answer as many of the questions that I've been asked or I've thought myself since I've had it done. So the first one we always got asked was what was the cost of my procedure. So again, I went with Longevita at a clinic in Turkey. The cost I paid was £1,100. It should have been 1,400, 1,500, I think it was. But I had on the website was a July August special, likely because of coronavirus. So I had a COVID special, which took the cost down to £1,100. I then have to pay my flights on top of that. So I think I got my flights from Glasgow to Istanbul for around about 250. So all in flights, your procedure cost includes your accommodation. So that's your transplant, your travel to and from the clinic, and your hotel. So that's £1,400. I think I paid all in. I took 200 spending money with me, and also spent a wee bit more when I was out there buying this rubbish. So all in, 1,800 quid, say, which I thought was an absolute bargain. I spent about 8 grand in the UK to have a hair transplant done, so I got mine over in Turkey, say for 800 quid all in, which is a bit of a no-brainer, especially when you see the results of people that have maybe been over there, as well as, like I say, results of I've known from close friends that have had it done. Another question I got asked was, did you feel safe over there? Yeah. To be honest, I was a wee bit iffy, as I might have said in my first visuals when I went over. I felt like I didn't really get much communication leading up from when I paid my deposit until I went. However, the week before I went is when Longevita and the clinic really step up their communication with you. I suppose it's just one of these cautious things that you maybe pay money in advance and you don't really hear from people apart from it being accepted. But I think that's just maybe common practice with cosmetics, especially abroad. But once they were in contact with me and I got all the way over there, I did meet someone at the airport who was my driver to get me back to the hotel, and they couldn't have made me feel more at ease. The hotel was extremely clean, comfortable. A Holiday Inn, they had a bar, you get a drink over there, you get your dinner, your food. Late check-ins, the rooms were lovely, the rooms were clean. So again, that put my kind of mind at ease. One of the other questions we got was how long does it take? So I thought from Glasgow on the Thursday, and I got into Istanbul around about 6 o'clock on Thursday night. So once you've checked in, you can have the rest of the night to yourself. So I went a wee walk around Istanbul, also had some dinner, and then I went back to my bed around about 10:30, 11. As my procedure was the next day at 10 o'clock, I had to be at the clinic for. I got picked up at 9:30, out to the clinic on the Friday. Maybe a wee bit of a wait around for about half an hour, 45 minutes. While you're there, you can really see how it all works in terms of how the cosmetics would maybe go in Turkey. I'm going to use the phrase a conveyor belt, which don't let that put you off. I think maybe if you're getting done in the UK, you would probably be in your own private room. Surgeon would come see you on your own. You'd be very much the main person at that particular surgery that you're going for. Whereas in Istanbul, or especially in the clinic I was in, you were more kind of, when I arrived, there was people coming out from getting their transplant done. There was people coming in. There was like people in the middle of having their transplant, so they're waiting from the follicles to be taken from the back to get put in the front. So it's kind of like a conveyor belt of operations going on, but that's probably why it's a cheaper cost for us going over there. It maximises the surgeons and the staff's income to an extent, but I didn't in any way feel like I wasn't maybe as much a priority, because you do get seen, you just maybe have to wait in a certain area while other people are waiting as well at different points in their procedure. So I went in there about 10, they shaved my hair off to a skinhead. You can keep bits of it on if you want, but what's the point? Do you know what I mean? Shave it all off. I'm going to be bald anyway, looked after I've got the transplant done. So that gets shaved first of all. The surgeon then comes and talks to you and asks where you want your hairline. So I think they base it on your age, the type of hair you got and how you want it to look. There's no point saying I want a hairline down to here, say, when I'm 30 years old. Vice versa, there's no point wanting one right down low when you're 50. They kind of base it on the age of where you're at, where your natural hairline should look, and then you get the opportunity to go, yes, you like it, or no, can we amend it? At the end of the day, it's got to be a kind of mixed decision between what the surgeon feels best for you, but also what you feel is best for you, because at the end of the day, it's your hair, you've got to live with it, and it's your money that you spend. Once that's done, I was pretty quickly taken through into the next room, where they start the procedure. Now, this is one of the other questions that we get asked: is it sore? So I've had a few mates that have had it done, and they said that it was the numbing procedure, as in they numb the top of your head and the side of it so they can extract the follicles and input it, and implant it into the back. Now, they told me it was uncomfortable. They were absolutely lying. It's one of the most sorest things I've had done. But don't let that put you off. I'm just going to be honest with you. It's, if you've got a low pain threshold or you're scared of needles, then you really need to work on that before you consider having this done. It's agony. It's literally long needles into your scalp where you can feel it separate from your skull while they inject the fluid in, and you can feel all that going through the front of your head. It's uncomfortable. It is sore, but I'm here to kind of prepare you for that side of things. So I didn't find it uncomfortable. I found it agony. But after that's done, the rest is a complete breeze. Literally pain-free from the day I had that till now. I've experienced no discomfort or no pain whatsoever since the day I've had it. The injections were the only thing that I would say was sore. So kind of back to that, it took around about 3 hours. They offer you a Xanax tablet if you want, which is a kind of sedative to help you relax when your procedure. I took mine. It's not for everyone, but again, once I'd had that, I pretty much I zonked out and fell asleep, to be honest with you, while they were extracting the hairs on the back. Now, as you can see, my hair is grey. At the same time, I'm still having bits of brown going through it. Where the area where they took the implants out, I'm guessing they took most of the greys because, as you can see, I'm left with a pretty brown bit at the back. However, it took 3 hours for that to come through. You then stop for about 45 minutes to have a break, get a glass of water, they give you some food. So again, I ate my food in the kind of like reception waiting area, which I thought was a bit weird, whereas I suppose normally if you're in the UK you'd be going back to your room or a canteen, whereas there I kind of just ate it at a desk next door to the room that I was in. Don't get me wrong, it's clean and everything, but it just felt a wee bit like you go there, that's where you're getting your food, and then we'll whisk you back into the next bit. So once that was done, like I say, I go through to the transplant area. Now, it was a different surgeon that took my hairs out the back of my head. It wasn't the surgeon that drew the line on my head. Given the procedure, that's kind of what they say. It can be multiple teams that work on it. The extraction team, the team that numbs, the team that does your washing your hair. So don't feel put off if you have multiple people working on it. It's not like you're going to have one surgeon throughout the whole procedure. It just doesn't seem like that's how it works. So yeah, once I'd finished and refueled, had some food and some juice, went to the toilet, I went back in for the front side. Now, what I didn't realise that when they numbed all the back, they hadn't actually numbed the front. So I had to prepare myself for more agony while they injected into the front of my forehead to obviously put in the follicles they'd taken out the back into the front. Somehow, maybe it was annex, maybe it was just me, I thought it would all done at the same time. So prepare yourself for 2 separate loads. You don't numb the front way before you get done. They do it in stages. So once the front's done, you don't get another tablet either. You're only allowed the one. So I had my earphones in for the front one, you're lying back, and this was the surgeon that drew the line on the front of my head. So if you look back at my 3 videos before, you'll see the kind of way that she drew the line on, and it was that very surgeon that did that carried out the follicle insertment across the front. Again, that took around about 3 hours, 3.5 hours maybe, for it to be done. Once that's done, they kind of sit you up gently, maybe 4 or 5 come in there at that point. That's where you feel like you are really well looked after. I've been throughout the day, but I felt more in particular near the end that like your well-being, your care was a really priority for them over there. The nurses help you put on your kind of t-shirt or loose clothing or a shirt, and then they bandage up the back. They clean it all over as well for you. And then you kind of sit back in the waiting area for half an hour just to gather your thoughts, to make sure you're not lightheaded while they kind of finalise everything. Once that bit's done, you then get taken back through to the area where the surgeon goes over kind of what happened, how it went, and then they offer you the chance to buy some shampoos, etc., to take away. You don't have to do this. However, I did at the time. Maybe I was missold because I was high with the Xanax or from the procedure, who knows. But I bought some of the shampoos and stuff anyway. I then got taxied back to my hotel, and by then I was feeling fine, to be honest, because I slept most of the day. I wasn't tired, and I was back at my hotel around about 7 o'clock at night. So all in all, that's a good 7 hours in total. The procedure is how long it takes, which is quite a long time considering, you know what I mean, it's the front of my head that's only got done. I know people have had the whole lot, but 3,000 grafts is what I had taken and put into the front, which if that's what you're going for, estimate your time will be around about 7 hours. 3.5 to take it out, we break in the middle, 3.5 after that. So then back to the hotel, I then had a few pints of water, had some dinner, and then just chilled out into the evening. I didn't go any exploring or walking about this time, purely because, again, your head is completely swelled up. It just feels like you've got a huge headache, and that's because of the procedure they've done, but the fact that they've injected in, obviously, the fluid to make sure your follicles are nice, big and juicy for them. So you did see a few people walking around with bandages. They maybe had other transplants going on, but I myself just wanted to keep myself to myself. Big procedure. I didn't want to do anything to mess up the follicles. And then went back to my room where I slept upright, stacked the pillows literally around my neck. I took a travel pillow, so if you've got one, certainly take a travel pillow with you, and then you kind of sleep upright. It's an uncomfortable sleep, but at the end of the day, that's what I had to do. You can't go on the side, the blood, etc. might come out or drip out, or it might damage the follicles on the pillow. Following day, up for some breakfast, and at 10 o'clock this on the Saturday, I got taken back to Istanbul airport about midday, and my flight back to Glasgow was at 2 o'clock in the afternoon, which as I got back into my house in Glasgow around about 6. So literally from Thursday to Saturday, flew halfway across the world to get my transplant and back, and yeah, that's kind of my procedure journey whilst I was over there. I'll now show you the shampoos that I bought kind of when I was over there, and I'll also go through some of the routine stuff of what I've done since I've come home in the next video. So this is the shampoo that they kind of sell you over there, which is a Cappucin anti-loss hair shampoo. Link in bio. I guess it's a bit like Regain in the UK, I suppose. You're supposed to wash it with this after month 1. So they'll give you your procedure for the first month is nothing but 1 wash a day with a spray into it, and then after about a month you can go back to regular hair washing. After like say 3 months now, I'm washing it as much as I want before I go to work, when I come home from work, etc. So this is a shampoo you get once a day, and then you have a spray as well. And I say it's a folic size spray, I think it is. I'll show you in the next video. But yeah, you spray that over the affected area just before you go to bed, and then once in the morning as well. And that's until it runs out pretty much. I don't know where else to buy this stuff. I thought we're keeping up. I've still got a wee bit of this left, maybe about that much. I'm completely out the spray. The spray's a lot smaller bottle, but I don't know where to purchase this. It's Turkish, so whether I buy Regain or I just let it go as it is. It's growing great. It's difficult to see because of my MacBook camera, but you can see it's night and day compared to what it was 2 months ago. What I'll do is I'll take one of my phone close up and put that in the next stills after for you guys. So yep, should really have the spray before I'm trying to talk about what I've got from them. So this is the 2 bits, like I said, was Cappucin, which is the spray, and the shampoo. The spray is Procapil. So it's effectively just like Regain, as I said, but that's what it comes in. So when you can buy this off the surgeon when you're over there. So like I say, I got pulled into a room at the end of my procedure and said, well, I like to buy the shampoo. It's like 200 or 300 Turkish money, which I suppose over here is like 30 quid. I bought it because I didn't have anything else. Thought, why not? If they're asking me to buy it and suggesting that I take it, why not go with their advice? At the end of the day, they're the ones, the surgeons that are the experts in it, do it day in, day out. There's people that didn't take it. There was also another guy from Glasgow by chance at the same time getting his procedure over there. So he had his the day before, and I was asking him, he said he didn't buy it, but he says if he needed it, he'd probably try and get it online. But that's what I got when I'm over there. So don't be shocked if they ask you to buy any of the kind of shampoos and stuff. It's probably common practice. It's maybe a wee additional income for them, but I didn't see any harm in taking it as it is designed for kind of hair loss spray, etc. So one of the last questions I also get asked is, do I do anything or have I take anything supplement wise once I've come back from having my procedure done? So before I even thought about getting my hair, I used to take these tablets, finasteride. So you can get them prescribed from your GP. They're a kind of hormonal tablet that stops hair loss in men. So I took these for a few years before my hair transplant. I certainly noticed it getting a little bit thicker and not as much receding. Now I asked advice. You go into a portal with Longevita. So you get a portal with Longevita when you're finished, and they you can ask questions or go on to kind of forums with other people who've had it done. And I asked when or do I need to continue to take finasteride. And the kind of thing with it is finasteride is not something that if you stop taking it, I don't have any side effects, etc. Some people do, but I've never had any. But if you stop taking finasteride, the acceleration of what your kind of results would have been beforehand go massive. So if you were balding really bad and you took this and you stopped it, the kind of day you stop taking it, the acceleration back to baldness is rapid. You're pretty much on it for life. So kind of what they said to me is you can certainly keep taking it so that I don't lose or go bald anywhere else. If I've got no side effects, it's not going to affect my transplant in any way, shape or form. All it can do is stop further hair loss. So after month 3, after month 1, I think it was, after month one, they advised me I could go back to taking the tablets. So that's what I've been doing since I came on. Like I say, I get these from your doctor for a prescription or kind of any pharmacy. So I've been taking them. But also, I was advised by surgeons over there and the kind of forums to take biotin, which is that. So I use 5,000 milligram biotin tablets and zinc. So I say, buy these online, Boots, or wherever you want to take it for. But again, all these are just supplements to help stimulate hair growth for normal function of skin, hair, and nails is what they're on. So that's the three things I kind of take to complement the procedure that I've had. My two pals that I've had it done, they don't take any of this. They just literally went natural from the transplant to today, and their hair again is phenomenal. But because I've always took finasteride, and I did see a difference before my transplant, I thought I wanted to keep going with it. Like I say, I don't want to have the front transplanted and I start to go the T-biscuit or anything in the back going bald because I've stopped taking these, especially if they've been working for 2 years before it. So that's the reason why I continue to take the finasteride. The biotin, the zinc, I'm probably going to keep going with this for the remainder of the whole year since my journey, and then probably come off them if I feel I need to. Again, no side effects I've had with them at all. Zinc and biotin, perfectly natural, perfectly normal. I'm just doing anything I possibly can to help give my hair transplant the best chance it's got of being successful. The nature of my job as well, say I'm a plumber, so I have been back at work, say 2 weeks after my procedure, although I wore a hat or a kind of a cap thing, loose for the first while, but even a netting just to stop dust, etc. going into it. I'm cautious that with my job, there's more chance of me sweating unnoticeably, as in terms of like just by the general hard manual labour, I might sweat round the head without actually feeling like you're sweating in the gym, if that makes sense. Hot places, stuffy environments and lofts under floorboards, and also then with dust as well, chopping up pipes, chopping floors, again working in attic spaces, etc. I need to wash my hair pretty much every time I come in from work, if not in the morning. So because of the nature of my job and dust particles, etc., I thought I need to give myself as much of a chance of it being successful as possible at the same time as continuing to earn an income and provide for food on the table. So yeah, any other questions at all, fire me below. Like I say, I will do an update again in a month's time, just before Christmas, so you can see what it's like a quarter of the way through your year journey. But up to now, after 3 months, I'm delighted. Like I say, I've had my first haircut a month ago after 2 months. Just scissor cutted it, but I'm looking forward to once lockdown ends, especially in Scotland, to go and get a skin fade and really neaten this up. But there's already really good growth at the front. There is hair right along where the line is, that's growing in thicker and thicker, I can tell, by the weeks that go on. Yeah, and I'm excited to see where it goes. So any questions, just fire below, and like I say, I'll keep you updated. Cheers, guys.